I think this is a really interesting area, market segmentation. It's something that every company does, but when you actually study, you start to think about, well, why do they do this? Because it sometimes seems a little bit counterintuitive, but basically, specification objectives, you need to know what it is, methods of doing it, reasons why you would do it, and some details about how you would change your marketing mix as well. So remember, that was the 4 Ps that we were thinking about. So when we look at different products, we usually the business has made a product with someone in mind and they're aiming a certain product at certain groups of people. So if we look at Frozen, Disney movie, I'd say that there's a target market in mind with them, and then these headphones and a very, very expensive car here. And you know, sometimes it's interesting to think about, well, who are they not aiming this product at? Which part of the market are they sort of not appealing to as well? And that is basically what market segmentation is. It's breaking down a market into subgroups with similar characteristics. And the reason you do that is because you're trying to aim your product at that certain subgroup. And what's very interesting is, you know, why would you do that? Why not just make a product that is applicable for everybody, that's appealing to everybody? Why break down your market? Because surely you're sort of not saying you can't purchase this product, but you know, these headphones don't particularly appeal to me personally. You know, and I think in some of the ways, the reasons they don't appeal to me is because of the marketing mix that they've created does not appeal to me. The biggest thing that doesn't appeal to me is the price, I'm afraid. I just would not spend that amount of money on some headphones. I'm sure they're really, really good quality, but it's just not for me. So why would the company do this? Why would they specifically create a marketing mix that appeals to one segment of the market and sort of not deliberately but indirectly excludes other people? Okay, so let's have a look at the different types of market segmentation that you can have. There's loads of different types of market segmentation. This is just a general overview. But geographically, we could segment a market by where you live. So we assume that people that live in the northwest of England might have different tastes than people that live in the southeast of England. Well, they're probably quite similar, but they might have different tastes for like whether they have gravy on their chips or something. But they certainly probably have different tastes to people that live in, say, Argentina, and different tastes in food and different tastes in the type of fashion that you wear, certainly in kind of the climate that we live in. Demographically, so this would be any demographic characteristics, so gender, social class, age, income, ethnicity or religion, or how many children you have, those types of things. Psychographically, so their lifestyle and their personality, are they outgoing, are they quite introverts? And then behaviourally, so how do they act when they're purchasing your product? Are they a repeat purchaser? Do they flit between different brands? Do they only ever buy your product if it's on sale? Those types of things. So we can break down a market into many different kind of groups. And then we get questions like this 6-mark question: why do supermarket chains such as Asda segment their markets? So why would you do that? Why would you use segmentation? Why not just try and appeal to the whole market? Well, here are some reasons. So when you're trying to appeal to mass markets, that's a very big market, you're going to get lots of different groups of people with very different characteristics. So you might feel that, I'm just going to get a pen here so we can kind of highlight a few different things. You might feel that you meet customer needs better if you just try and focus on one group or segment of the market. So I think for this case study, they were actually targeting older generation with things like walking aids and things like that. And so what you do is you would adapt the marketing mix to meet that segment's needs. So the products that an older generation might need are things like walking aids or mobility aids. And why would you do that? Well, hopefully you're going to sell more products, and selling more products is good because we make more revenue, and then that leads on to kind of profit. If you meet their needs a lot better, you might increase loyalty. So you might meet their needs better than the competitors, Tesco and Sainsbury's, and that's good because it encourages repeat purchasing. So wherever you see loyalty, put in repeat purchasing, some kind of mind close to it, because loyalty is not just good in itself. Loyalty is good because it encourages repeat purchasing, and repeat purchasing without too much trouble either. It's much cheaper to try and keep a customer that you have than to advertise and attract a new customer. So if you can get someone repeatedly purchasing your product for not too much advertising effort, that's quite a good deal. You could also develop premium segments. So some segments, if you meet their needs specifically, they're willing to pay higher prices. So that's really, really good, because you're meeting their needs and they can't get the product anywhere else. And higher prices mean higher profit margins. So very good. You can also reduce waste. I'm just thinking of the Frozen film. You're not going to want to advertise that to certain segments of the market. You know, why? Because they're never going to buy that product. They're never going to sit down and watch that film. So why try and advertise it to them? So, you know, why put your advertising in, you know, maybe like the Sunday Times? Oh no, I suppose people at Sunday Times have children, don't they? But why would you wouldn't advertise that film like late at night on TV, would you? Because the main market's going to be young children, or, you know, parents with young children that are going to see that. So by segmenting the market and promoting your products to the segment that you're attracting, it means that you're going to avoid targeting the wrong customers and reduce waste, reduce costs. And then you may be able to, you know, it's not just, you know, Asda, they're just going to target older customers. They might look at all of their different segments that they're appealing to, and they might go, do you know what? We're missing a trick here. We've got nothing for this particular age group, or this particular person, or this particular kind of geography or place where people live. So what you might want to do is look at how you're segmenting your market, look at who you're appealing to, and then bring out a product that appeals to the segment that you're not targeting. So you're kind of spreading risk in that way. So I'm sure companies like Kellogg's and Cadbury's do that. They think, right, you know, it's mainly females that buy dairy milk. Well, what are males buying? Could we bring out a product that appeals to them a little bit more? And those types of things. I know Coca-Cola did that with Coke Zero, because Diet Coke appealed to a lot of females, but they thought, what could we bring out that appeals to a health-conscious male? Okay, so benefits of market segmentation. We've been through a lot of them there, and this is kind of an analysis table of how you can analyse and create a really good answer to the question. But you can target particular groups with particular products. You can prevent your product being promoted to the wrong people, and you can make customers feel that their needs are being better targeted and they develop loyalty, so they have repeat purchases with your business. And you also alter the marketing mix. So if we look at Frozen here, you know, it's obviously appealing to a younger generation, but they do put a few like more grown-up jokes in there to appeal to parents with children that would be watching it. They would advertise it during kind of daytime programs that parents or children would be watching. You know, if you think about the kind of price of it, it's quite affordable. It would be, you know, distributed over the cinema, which is very accessible for families. If we look at these headphones, well, I don't think they're the target market, so I'm not particularly sure where they're advertised, but you know, with musicians, they all seem to be kind of wearing them, and lots of people at the London Olympics wore them, didn't they? So looking quite cool. And then this car, I couldn't afford this car, but you know, it appealed to kind of people that have a higher income, so maybe have very well paid jobs, that value you know, speed and luxury over kind of practicality, because I just don't think you're going to fit much in that boot. I don't think the kind of person that's going to buy that car has like, you know, twin toddlers or something, do they? You know, they're not fitting a buggy in there. But, you know, the price is going to reflect their target market. It's going to be very expensive, and the type of person they're targeting is not thinking about putting a car seat in there. So they're not going to be advertising in, you know, parenting magazines or places that necessarily parents would go. Okay, so having a look at defining market segmentation, make sure you know methods of market segmentation, make sure you know the reasons why, because it's sort of counterintuitive. You're cutting off some of the market, so you've got to make it worthwhile.